going to talk a little bit about programming, and specifically programming for like military and things like that. I have no idea if this is going to work because my lighting down here isn't all that great, so forgive me if the board's a little bit difficult to see. I will try to move it. So what I have here is a basic outline of how the program would be implemented versus how I did it the first time. So first off, what I want to tell you is what not to do. So what not to do is what I did. So run, PT, swim, and strength every day, 6 days, and then take the day off. You got your rest day on the 7th, okay? That's what I did. I did all 4 modalities every day. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it doesn't work. It certainly does work. If you put the work in, like, yes, you will make progress. But that's not really optimal, okay? So every morning I would get up and I would run. I'd even do sprints, and I would go for a long distance run. Then I'd go do a whole bunch of PT exercises, like grinder PT, just push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, all that good stuff like that. Then I'd go to the pool and I'd do intervals, and then I would do my long swim. I'd even throw fins on, and then I would go and I would lift, okay? And that's what I did every single day. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it doesn't work, because it does work. Like, I got stronger over time, but it was a ton of work, took a lot of time, and I really don't think that my progress was as optimal as it could have been. So what I'm going to show you guys instead is what you should do. So don't do this. That's the important part. And I always feel like it's important to let people know what not to do instead of just telling them, oh, do this. Well, here's what you also should not do. And I think that there's a lot of people out there trying to do this, where they're trying to get good at everything by doing it all at once. It's not a great option. So instead, what I recommend is that you split things up. So if I get close enough, hopefully you can see this. So on day 1, you're going to do lower body strength, okay? And I'm just picking a squat. It doesn't have to be a squat. I don't care what you choose, but a lower body push followed by an upper body pull. Now, I really think that there's only one choice here. That's weighted pull-ups, because if you're going into the military, you're going to have to do pull-ups. I know that you could do rows instead if you wanted, but I really do think it's pull-ups. And then intervals of PT exercises. And what I want to express here is that if you think about it, like, you're doing all this strength work, how long is a set of squats for you? You know, even if it's 5 reps. Okay. One of the limiting factors in your PT test is how fast can you do the reps. Like, maybe you can do 300 push-ups, but you're slow. So one of the factors you need to pay attention to is how fast can you do the reps. One of the things I did that helped me break through that plateau and actually get more reps in was I started doing time sets where I would give myself like 10 seconds to do as many reps as possible. 20 seconds to do as many reps as possible. So I forced myself to learn to go faster in that short interval. So what you're looking at now is, instead of just saying, oh, I'm going to do 100 push-ups and it doesn't matter how long it takes me, I'm going to give myself 30 seconds to do as many push-ups as possible. The other option is, and this isn't, I wrote timed interval, but you can also give yourself this. I'm going to do 20 push-ups as fast as possible. So burst, boom, 20 as fast as you can possibly go. Stop, rest. Give yourself like 3 minutes to recover. Then again, 20 reps as fast as you possibly can. Because if you don't get faster, you're not going to get those reps in. You only have 2 minutes to do them, or in some tests you only have 1 minute. You need to be fast. So it's not enough that, oh, I can do 300 push-ups in a single set. Yeah, but if you're slow, you're not going to get them in on that time component. So that's what I would say that you want to do on your first day. So your first day is squat or lower body pushing strength. Then you want to get in some heavy weighted pull-ups, and then you're going to do some type of interval with a body weight movement. Okay? Your second day, we're going to do an upper body strength movement. You can do a bench press, you can do an incline press, you can do an overhead press, doesn't matter. Just an upper body strength movement. Okay? And then I like to go with running. All right? Hill sprints, short sprints. This is going to be speed work. So again, this sounds very similar to what I just explained about being able to do 300 push-ups but not being able to get the time interval in. Hey man, it's great. You can complete a 15-mile run, but if you're slow, like, this doesn't help you. And if your best mile time is a 10-minute mile, okay, like, it's not going to help you to just keep doing more and more miles. You have to get faster, okay? You have to have a higher top speed. So, if your top speed is 15 miles an hour, hey, running a 6-minute mile, not a problem, okay? But like, if your top speed is 10 miles per hour, trying to hold that is not going to help you. All right, so if your max speed is 10 miles per hour, you trying to hold that top speed for a whole mile or a mile and a half, if you're taking the Navy PST, it's going to kill you. So that day, you're going to want to work on speed. Okay, so upper body strength, and then you want to do hill sprints, short sprints, any kind of sprint work. It should be top speed, and they should be really short. Like we're talking, I would say 60 to 80 meters. Okay, we don't need to be killing ourselves because you're going to slow down. You know, if you're even doing 200 meters, you're going to start losing speed by the time you hit that 70 meter mark. So you guys should be really trying to maximize your top speed. If you are running and you start to slow down, you're no longer training top speed. Okay, I'm trying to hurry up here because I'm already 5 minutes in. So the next one is on our third day, we're going to do a lower body pull. And that can be, you know, a deadlift, sumo deadlift, rack pull, whatever, some type of lower body pull. Okay, we're going to do an upper body press. Now, I know you just pressed on this day, right? But you should choose something different here. So if you bench press this day, then do some overhead pressing here. And no, you don't have to kill yourself on it. This does not have to be maximal. Okay, it's just to make sure that you hit a different plane. So if you overhead press this day, do some bench presses here. It does not have to be what this one was. This one should be hard and heavy. This one should be more moderate, just getting some pressing in a different plane. So if you did a vertical press, do a horizontal. If you did a horizontal, do a vertical. And then we're right back to the time PT intervals, okay? So whether that's even sit-ups on this day, you know, I'm gonna try to get as many sit-ups as I can in 30 seconds, all right? So now we're 3 days down, your 4th day in, okay? That day is gonna be prehab and rehab. We want an easy day, and I recommend also that you go for a long walk or you hop on like a spin bike or a stationary bike or whatever and just go super easy, super easy. We're talking like 90 to 100 beats per minute, just a really leisurely kind of moving, getting the blood going, stuff like that. This is a recovery day, okay? And your prehab and rehab exercises should be really simple. Just anything that's nagging, you're gonna kind of just work through it, okay? And then, this is the important part. So we've been doing all this strength and speed and all the stuff like that. Your last 2 days, we're gonna make those the endurance days. I like to make the first one swimming, okay? And the thing about swimming is that it's all technique. The most important thing when it comes to swimming is your technique. Believe me, if you have terrible technique, I don't care how hard you try to swim faster, you're not going anywhere. So you really need to do technique work. I recommend that you do intervals for your technique work, all right? So really try to learn that combat swimmer side stroke. Focus on good technique. You know, 50 meters, reset, 50 meters, reset. Make sure that you are absolutely diligent about technique, and then go for a long, easy, slow swim, making sure that you really focus on that technique. Learn to glide. Swimming should feel easy, all right? You should feel like you're sliding through the water. And, you know, obviously, there's a lot of better people than me. Terry Laughlin, there's a lot of people out there. For you guys that are going into something where you're going to need to swim, technique is everything. And then on this day here, this will be our long run, all right? And that long run, I recommend you follow Phil Maffetone, all right? Or Phil Maffetone, I don't even know how to pronounce his name properly because I've only seen it in writing. He has this maximum aerobic factor. You just take 180 minus your age, and that gives you a ballpark of what your maximum aerobic heart rate is, okay? Now, what you're going to do with this is just simply over time, you're going to progress the distance longer and longer. So if this is your first week, you know, maybe you go for a 1 mile run, because maybe that's all you can manage. Then the next week, you know, you try a 1.5 miles. Then the next week you try 2 miles. And over time you just keep going for a longer run, okay? So that eventually you're doing a 5-mile run, and then you're doing a 10-mile run. But it's 1 day a week where you're going for a really long run, but you're staying aerobic for the whole thing. You're not going glycolytic, you're not pushing yourself into that state where your heart's super elevated and you're pushing up all this cortisol. No, we're trying to build that aerobic system. So that 1 day a week, all right, you're going to build that aerobic system, nothing but aerobic running. Because you already did the sprint work, you already did the speed work, okay? And I'll even add in that you guys who are more advanced can probably include a little bit of tempo run and some more short distance work, even on your squat and deadlift day, all right? Maybe a couple hill sprints or something like that. But the key to it is to have really low volume with really high quality so you're getting the speed. And then on that endurance day, that's the day for you to go for the long run and build your aerobic base.